Professor Anaxa.
Rule number 1. Do not call me Anaxa.
Shut up.
Professor Anaxa is unique among the Chrysos heirs. Aglaea makes it clear she doesn't trust him, since he does not believe in the Titans and the prophecy like the others. He views them as utter nonsense, always voting against the Flame Chase journey during assemblies. He even founded a new school in the Grove known as the New Sporist, which focused on tracing the origins of all life and material existence. Funnily enough though, despite his blasphemous non-belief in the gods, one of the courses he taught at the Grove was History of Mythology. One of Anaxa's key character traits is his arrogance. This is the guy who honestly says that in a world of lies, he is the only truth. But as we observe in Lamentations Bring Not Empty Tears, he has a good heart, no matter how small it may seem. His first instinct when arriving in Akama was to see the relatives of the scholars who died and inform them of their passing. An act of kindness like that does a great deal in endearing us to him. Even if he is the most knowledgeable scholar about souls, he does not know their true essence and seeks to learn such truth. As we come to learn in 3.2, the truth behind him tearing his soul into pieces was, in one part, done to trap the Black Tide creations within the Grove. However, the other part of why he performed this act was so he could run to the Luminary Throne and transmute himself with Circe's core flame. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Who'd have thought that tearing your soul apart does more harm than good to you? That act ended up killing him, yet Circe revived him by forcibly implanting her core flame of reason into the scholar. Anaxa is essentially a zombie running on borrowed time. The end of 3.1 established that his soul was burning out, and that Circe would have to take over the body if they didn't come up with a different solution fast enough. But this situation comes with a silver lining. Thanks to his undead state of being, his consciousness is constantly dipping in and out of the mortal world. In those moments, he attained visions of the past loop of amphoreus, leading to him discovering the means of evolution from humans to titans. It's fitting that Anaxa would be paired with Castorice as the primary characters for this piece of the amphoreus storyline, as both have interesting connections to the concepts of life and death. Anaxa has always been fascinated by the truth behind life, as detailed by his childhood inventions mentioned in his first character story. A mechanical bird that sang on its own, a Dromos incubator, artificial flowers that stayed forever vibrant. Side note, I have nowhere else to mention it, but Anaxa is a huge fan of the Dromos. It's to the point one of his many nicknames is a Dromos draped in finery, and one of his emojis is him in a Dromos onesie. I mean, I sorta get the appeal. Anyway, off topic. He believes there's little difference between the souls of humans and titans, which goes in line with his end goal of fusing a human soul with a core flame. His interest in the boundaries of life and death stems from his sister. His sister died when his hometown was consumed by the Black Tide. He prayed to every titan he could think of, but found no crumb of salvation or hope. And so, he studied alchemy at the Grove. He even tried to pull a Full Metal Alchemist by sacrificing his eye to revive his sibling, though all he got was one last sight of her. After that glimpse of death, he chose to continue Talus's research into souls. Talusis is named after Talus, one of the 7 sages of ancient Greece, who believed that all things contained a soul. And of course, our great performer is also named after a Greek philosopher. The real-life Anaxagoras is most well known for his discoveries of astronomy, specifically for his discovery of what the true cause of an eclipse was. He claimed that the sun and moon weren't gods, but simply objects that hung in the sky. The people of Athens saw his discoveries as an act of impiety, and so he was banished from the city and forced to live the rest of his life in exile. In HSR, this is akin to Anaxa's disregard for Titans and the Chrysos heirs. He stays in the Grove of Epiphany, a remote location that's a fair distance from Akama. Similar to how the real-life Anaxagoras discovered the truth behind the sun and moon, dispelling the myth of them being gods, Anaxa was the one to discover the true nature of amphoreus, that the planet is in a cycle of destruction and reconstruction. The Titans weren't gods, they were the evolved form of the human Chrysos heirs of yesteryear. Oh, also, the real-life Anaxagoras is the first person in history to explain the concept of nous, the part of the human mind used for logic, reasoning, as well as instinct. In HSR, Anaxa is the founder of the New Sporist school in the Grove of Epiphany, but Anaxa wasn't recognized by Nous at all. Instead, it was this Ligus guy. The Grove of Epiphany ties into more than just his namesake, It also drives home his connection to another Honkai character. That's right, it's now time for round 5 of Which Flame Chaser Are They? Anaxa is a direct XP of the 7th Flame Chaser, possessor of the Bodhi signet, Su. The Bodhi was a sacred fig tree located in India, which was considered the Tree of Awakening or Enlightenment. Su is thus considered the Enlightened One, amongst not only the Flame Chasers, but humanity as a whole. The Bodhi isn't the only sacred icon of Buddhism involved with Anaxa and Su. One of the defined keys used by Su in HI3 was the seed of... Sumeru? No, God, no, wait, I don't want to go back, please don't take me back there! Anaxa and other characters who take after Su in some way all possess grander knowledge of the world, but differ in their stances of how they utilize that knowledge in relation to the rest of humankind. Anaxa's stance is made clear by his answer to the question, what exactly are we?
The very essence of the world, our souls, are tiny invisible seeds that hold records of each person's memories of the world. And we are the buds that sprout from these seeds to grow into great trees.
Anaxa believes knowledge is a type of memory, one that's carried between generations to help future iterations of humanity carry the torch of their ancestors. That's why he is most approving of boldness and curiosity as a teacher. He wants people, such as his students, to grow by attaining knowledge until they reach apotheosis. To go from a seed to a giant tree, you must not blindly buy into the supposed truths of the world, but rather go out and search for them. That's why he is a professor, as he's willing to lend his knowledge to help people carve their own paths in finding answers. Just as he took Talos' studies of souls and delved far deeper than his predecessor, there is bound to be someone who will continue where Anaxa left off. As we saw at the end of the questline, he was willing to sacrifice his current identity after being assured his knowledge and ideals would be carried on. It's also demonstrated in his 4th character story, with an echo of his memory wishing his students to continue his research. Use my results to the fullest extent, and make me the subject of your research. Step over my body, and take the torch from my hands. Use me as the firewood to ignite the flames that will bring light to the truth. Do not fear blasphemy. It is already a sin to transcend the gods, so what if you become a god? That last part of the character story? Killer line, honestly. And while we're on the topic of sinning, during the quest Olive cast to the conference chair, a scholar describes how Circe's shared fruit to symbolize their equal distribution of knowledge. Immediately when I heard this, I thought about the forbidden fruit from the Tree of Knowledge, the one that got Adam and Eve banished from the Garden of Eden for eating. But you see, Adam and Eve were tempted to eat the apple by the devil. Anaxa doesn't need such temptation. If he were in the Garden of Eden, he'd bite into the fruit of his own total free will just to see what would happen. Anaxa doesn't have unquestionable faith in the Titans or the prophecy, but that doesn't mean he actively opposes the Christos heirs. As he states himself, he's always been on his own side, never caring for factions. He pursues the truth no matter what, willing to go to any length he deems necessary to reach it. Despite them being diametrically opposed in their faith in the prophecy, there is a common trait shared between Aglaea and Anaxa: their insane amount of dedication to their goals. Both of them are willing to hold on to the last strands of their lives and humanity in order to achieve their desired outcomes. Through recognizing that, the two are able to find common ground, even if they still can't fully stand each other. I also think his talks with Phainon show that while he may not have faith in the Titans, he has faith that his student will be the hero Amphoreus needs most. A lot of Anaxa's actions were indeed blasphemous, but they were all done with a clear purpose in mind. His final lecture, one about the cyclical nature of Amphoreus and how Phainon will reconstruct everyone from memory, was given to the general populace for all to hear. And to ensure that people grow with knowledge, rather than stagnate in a safety net of blissful ignorance, he takes the Council of Elders down with him. His acts of irreverence were what allowed him to become the one who conquered the ultimate truths of the world. It all culminated in his disappearing act. As the newest incarnation of Circe's, he sowed the seeds of suspicion for future generations of amphoreus to blossom from. Now the amphoreans of tomorrow will use their gift of reason to question and investigate the rules of the world, to find answers that even Anaxa himself didn't manage to reach. Now, could Anaxa come back? Yeah, he will, Probably not as Anaxa though. Like he said to Phainon, he'll be the new Titan of Reason going forward. He may not have his memories, but his legacy lives on through his students and his research. Anaxa is the perfect example of this questline's greatest thesis. You can and will leave your own mark on the world, which will persist far after you yourself cease to be. That was Anaxa's final lesson to us, the players. Thank you for watching. This is one part of a series of analysis videos on Amphoreus' cast of characters. If you want to see me analyze another character from Amphoreus, please subscribe to the channel so we can hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers this year. Subscribing is totally free. You can unsub at any time, and it will make me smile. Also, like this video to let me know if I did a good job. As a smaller content creator on the platform, engaging with my videos really, truly helps me out. Have a great rest of your day, and until we meet again, take care.